Hey y'all, it's me. So you might be noticing two things. Number one, I'm still wearing the same shirt as my other video, and that is because hey y'all. Hey Hey y'all, it's me. So you might be noticing two things. Number one being I'm still wearing the same shirt as yesterday, and that is because excuse me, that is because these are my pajamas and I have not gotten ready for class yet. I have class at 11 a.m. and it is currently 10:30, which means I have 15 minutes to get dressed and get out the door. So we're gonna try and finish this intro before then. Number two, my audio quality should theoretically be much better, and that is because I actually connected my phone correctly this time. Last time I did not, so that's why the audio quality is much better. So, additionally, I'm gonna figure out some sort of intro besides like, "Hey y'all, it's me," because that's cute. I like that, but like, where's the intro? You know. I'm gonna turn on do not disturb on my computer. I got put in this group chat. So I read a lot of books, and I have an advanced reader copy for a book, which basically means I get it before it's released. And I'm in this group chat with other ARC readers, and it's been blown up, so had to put that on silent. Anyways, today we are going to be talking about the Great Movie Ride and like Hollywood studios in general, but like mostly focusing on the Great Movie Ride because Great Movie Ride was great, and I know there's a ton of videos out there about it, but like I'm lazy, okay? I don't want to do a deep dive when I have a full day of classes. I literally have a 3-hour class today, so yeah, we're gonna be talking about the Great Movie Ride. We're gonna talk about the past, the present, which it's eradicated, in the future, which I guess would technically be about the future of making Minnie's Runaway Railway. And technically, we got the Amber Red Bull. And that's gonna be the end of my intro. Check this out. And I'm back. If you can't tell, it is now 5 o'clock in the evening. My phone is almost dead, so it is charging. I showered, did my makeup. I'm wearing my Fourth Wing shirt. Where are my Fourth Wing baddies at? Good question. Anyways, so Great Movie Ride. I swear every time I talk, somebody clears their throat in the hallway. And again, I really hope my phone doesn't like pick that up. Great Movie Ride. So Great Movie Ride was an attraction, 22-minute long dark ride located at what is now Hollywood Studios, but was when it opened Disney MGM Studios. So opened with the park May 1st, 1989. And it took guests through, and this is the blurb that I stole from Disney, transported guests through iconic scenes in cinematic history. Located inside a replica of Grauman's Chinese theater, it featured audio animatronics, live actors, and scenes from films. Cool. So, it was taken a replica of Grauman's Chinese theater, and actually outside, instead of they have handprints and footprints from celebrities, but they also have some from some fictional celebrities, so like Mickey Mouse, Roger Rabbit, R2-D2, C-3PO, to name a few. The movies featured in the Great Movie Ride were Footlight Parade, and this is in order, so it's Footlight Parade, Singing in the Rain, Mary Poppins, Public Enemy, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, The Searchers, Alien, Raiders of the Lost Ark, Tarzan and His Mate, which is not the animated film, Casablanca, The Wizard of Oz, and Fantasia. And then they had some scenes that they switched out in the ending montage, which we will get to in a moment. So, when it opened, it was 22 minutes long. I had to cough I like choked on air. So when it opened, it was 22 minutes long, and sponsored by Coca-Cola, I think. Coca-Cola, big brain. So what first happens is you enter the Chinese theater, and the inside is also a replica. So and the queue is filled with props from movies. So Mary Poppins, Star Wars, Alien, both movies that you see in the attraction, and just like popular movies of whatever era you're visiting. And it was open for 28 years, so they did change those out every so often. Not often, but they were changed out. And so 1989 it opened. You go through the queue with the props, and then you enter the loading area. So you loaded into these pretty high capacity vehicles. They're trackless, by the way. High capacity trackless vehicles. And the very first scene that you enter is Footlight Parade. So when it originally opened, it was kind of like a cake is what I think of in my head. So it was stacked with the girls, like, and it turned. That doesn't make a lot of sense. I'm sure I'll insert a video. From there, you got to Sing in the Rain with Gene Kelly, and then Mary Poppins with Chim Chim Cheree. Chim Chim Cheree, Chim 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 Cheree. A super's as lucky can be. Chim 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 Chimmery, Chim Chimmery, Chim Chim Cheree. Blow me a kiss, and that's lucky too. Anyways, I'm probably gonna cut that out. That went on for way too long. I'm so sorry. Then, here's the cool part. So your vehicle was, it was driven by a cast member, and these were attraction cast members. They weren't actors. They were people in the attraction role trained specifically for this ride. Disney briefly considered using actors, but it was just easier to use their cast members. And so your vehicle was manned by a cast member who originally gave you the script, which was later then changed out because Coca-Cola stopped sponsoring. TCM started sponsoring, and so TCM wanted a voiceover, but they started off with narrating you. So after the Mary Poppins scene, you would enter the gangster scene. So in what we're gonna call B mode, even though it wasn't technically B mode, but it was the lesser scene. So we're calling it B mode. You would go through the gangster scene, there would be a shootout, and you can continue on into the western scene. The western scene, there would be a bank robbery. And so your tour guide was forced out of your train, your vehicle, and you were hijacked by the bank robbers. This also had pyrokinetic effects, and it was generally the more impressive of the two scenes before continuing, and so your vehicle was hijacked before continuing on to the next scene. And what we're calling A mode, you would get to the gangster scene, there would be a shootout, and your vehicle would be hijacked by a gangster. And then you continue on to the next scene, which would be the western one, and then you would move on into, I believe the Tarzan one came after that? I might be wrong. No, Alien. Sorry. Alien came after that. As a kid, I hated this. I thought it was scary. And so I forced myself to go on the Great Movie Ride just because the scene was so scary. I didn't want to be scared anymore. And so you had aliens coming down from the ceiling, and I think that was the scariest part for me because there were flashing lights and there's screaming, and anyways, so you move on from Alien into Raiders of the Lost Ark, and then Temple of the Forbidden Jewel, which is more Indiana Jones, I think. maybe. In this scene, what happened is there is a jewel, and your hijacker is like, I want that jewel. So they leave your vehicle. They are warned off by a figure. I don't remember exactly what they say.
Unbeliever, disturb the treasure of the gods, and you shall all pay with your lives.
And so they are hijacking. They reach for the jewel. The mechanism is that it turns. So they are replaced by a skeleton. And the person who warned off the hijacker turns out to be your original tour guide. And so that was kind of the draw of this attraction, were these interactive scenes. But then your tour continued on. From there, we go Tarzan the Ape Man and Casablanca, which, fun fact, that is supposedly the plane scene in that is supposedly the plane used in the film. It's cut in half, and the other half can be seen on the Jungle Cruise. From there, you go to the Wizard of Oz scene, which is the only time all the ride vehicles are sitting there stacked up. Whichever ride vehicle is in the front, the cast member will interact with the Wicked Witch. The Wicked Witch at the time was the most advanced animatronic ever. And she's, I was gonna say she's still cool, but she doesn't exist anymore. She was cool when she did exist. And so the Wicked Witch of the West appeared. They sing Ding Dong, the Witch is Dead. Ding Dong, the Witch is Dead. Ba-da-da. I don't actually know the lyrics to that one. I'm not going to subject you to listening to that. The Wicked Witch appears. She goes away. And then you continue on into the montage room, which has a bunch of clips from classic films. So the ones that you saw, a couple of other TCM films, and then some modern Disney ones. And they change those out every so often. So the timeline was that it opened in May 1st, 1989. And then 1998, Coca-Cola dropped their sponsorship. 2015, TCM sponsored the ride. And then in the summer of 2017, it was announced that it would be closed and replaced with Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. So my thoughts on the ride. I really liked it. And I'm going to try not to get too far into the present or the future. And just talk about, there was a hair, and just talk about the ride itself. So I really liked Great Movie Ride. I enjoyed it a lot as a kid. If it closed in 2017, I would have been 10. That doesn't sound right. Oh my god, it did close in 2017, so I would have been 10 years old. I just have such vivid memories of this ride. It's shocking me that, like, I remember it that well. I don't think I ever got the beat mode. My father says we did, but I must have been too young to remember that. I loved the shootout, though. I loved interacting with it. Sometimes if you sat in the front of the front carriage, you got to talk to the cast member. And I have some couple of fun memories from that. I was sad when they announced it was closed. And I like Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. It's a great attraction, actually. I'll go over that in the next part. But I just wish that Mickey and Minnie's didn't have to replace Great Movie Ride, because it was a good attraction. A little outdated, sure. Could it have been updated? Yeah. But it is what it is. Anyways, moving on to the present. So the present, Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway opened in Walt Disney World March 4th, 2020. I got to ride it like 2 weeks after it opened in Disneyland. I believe that was, I want to say 2023, but I don't know if that's true. So quick run through of Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, and we're gonna make this quick because not really the full, well, I might rename this video. I don't know. We'll see. So, exterior remains the same, although they did have, I believe, a new sign that says the name of the attraction. You enter the inside. Now it's a tribute to Mickey and Minnie and all of Mickey's, or not Mickey and Minnie, sorry, it's mostly Mickey, in his cartoons. And then you enter the pre-show room. You watch a show and it actually explodes through the screen. This like blew my mind the first time I watched a show, or went on the attraction. Blew my mind the first time I went on the attraction. And basically what happens, I had to watch this a couple of times, and I'm hoping that I'm right, and because I'm not gonna Google it and ruin the, I might Google it later, but I'm not gonna Google it during this video because I want to be uninformed. I'm gonna shut up now. Not actually, but I'm gonna stop talking about that. Anyways, so Goofy's train explodes, and so the screen lifts and reveals a jagged explosion in the screen. There's some cast member interaction where Goofy goes, "Hey you, can you let them in?" or something like that, which I think is fun. I always enjoy cast member interaction. And so you walk into the cartoon. Bunch of hidden Mickeys here. I'm a big hidden Mickey person, so there's paint splatters on the ground. In the woodwork, you can see it says Minnie and Mickey, if you look up, and it says that multiple times. There's other stuff. Those are the big two for me. So the first scene, it is a 4-car train with, I believe it can sit up to 6 people in each car. This is still trackless, by the way. So you enter and you're in Runaway Park, and Minnie Mickey's car accidentally hits a track switch. So you detach from the locomotive and from Goofy. Mickey says something like, "The track switch," except like in a Mickey voice. Wait, can I? "Nothing can stop us now, I'll tell you how, we're gonna make it happen. The track switch." I can't do it. I'm so sorry. You enter the Wild West, so the canyon, where Mickey and Minnie, they try to stop your car with lassos. They're riding horses. And then you enter the carnival scene. Carnival scene is significant because there's a great movie ride, tribute almost. There's a poster, and I'll put the poster over here, where it says, if I'm remembering this correctly, it says "The Great Moving Ride," and it has an escalator, and it's obviously a tribute to the Great Movie Ride, because I accidentally pressed the pause button. Obviously that was a tribute to a Great Movie Ride, because that was the attraction that was there before that. Anyways, so you keep moving into a tornado, and yeah, there's a tornado. You go around it into the next scene, which is the tropical island. So it starts to slow down, and Minnie and Mickey go, "We made it," and then you fall over a waterfall, and they go, "The waterfall." I read this like 4 times before closing one night, and I like to listen to the soundtrack, so I kind of have it memorized at this point. You fall over the waterfall, a volcano erupts and you fall over the waterfall, and then now you're under the sea. It goes, there is a hidden Mickey in that scene. One of the drains that you see causes a hidden Mickey. Side note, there is a side plot where Pluto follows you from scene to scene. So a giant squid grabs a plug and it goes like this Hawaiian music, and then you go down the drain. You then enter a city, and it's like bum Anyways. Anyways. I think my lip is bleeding because I keep tasting blood. Just like marginally concerning. Anyways, so you're in the city, you see Donald in the scene, you see Pete, there's a hidden Mickey of a, on an ice cream cone. Then you enter the dance studio. So Daisy's there, and there's another hidden Mickey in the scene. One of the, there's daisies on the wall. It's Daisy's dance studio, and there's daisies on the wall. Oh my god, I'm an idiot. But one of the daisies has a Mickey in the center instead of just a circle. And Daisy goes, ha, 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 and then you do the waltz, and she goes, now let's conga, or she goes like cha-cha, and it's bum 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 bum, and there's mirrors, so you get to watch yourself dance, and the people who don't dance aren't having fun. I always do, so I did color guard, so I kind of know dance. I'll do first position, second, third, fourth. I don't remember. But I always do that while we're doing the waltz, even though that's ballet and not waltz, and then I'll... Anyways, moving on. So from there, you go to the Smash and Crunch factory. On the way there, there's a hidden Mickey. It's another tribute to the Great Movie Ride. So you hear a cat sound right as you enter the factory, and that is said to be the same cat sound that you could hear, I believe, in the gangster scene of the Great Movie Ride. Just before you're crushed, Minnie and Mickey flip the switch, and the factory turns back into Runaway Park. And they go, ah, nothing can stop, and it's like a lullaby of the theme. And now they have their perfect picnic. Perfect picnic. I gotta stop. And then they sing the lullaby of nothing can stop us now. I knew somehow that we would finally make it. We had one crazy ride. Oh, you meet up with Goofy, and he goes boo boo with the horn. With you there by my side, do do do, and stars will be aligned. And then the chorus joins in, and he goes, and nothing can stop us now. And there's fireworks, and there's hidden Mickeys in the fireworks, cause duh. And then you go back to the station, and Goofy electrocutes himself right as you pull into the station. Questionable decision. Yeah, and then you're done with the attraction. So, if you can't tell, I really do like this attraction. I like the Great Movie Ride. I think it's a great attraction. I do think that Runaway Railway is a necessary addition, though, because it's just good. It's good. It has a great ride system. I don't know if it's better than Great Movie Ride. The Great Movie Ride was great. Runaway Railway is really great. That being said, I wish Runaway Railway didn't replace Great Movie Ride, but I do understand how it's kind of like it's the center of the park, so it makes sense to put it there. Those are my thoughts. I think you can tell how much I like the attraction, so, this is the only episode I will do my Mickey voice for. I like to do this and this is kind of obnoxious of me, but after the pre-show, I'll stand all the way in the back and then be the last person to walk through the explosion. And I'll start singing, nothing can stop us now, I'll tell you how, we can finally make, and I'll like sing the whole thing. And every time I do that, and mind you, I've run in the attraction plenty of times, somebody turns around and goes, I thought the show was starting again. I was like, no, it's just me. Anyways, yeah, that's kind of obnoxious. Moving on to the future, and we're gonna go that way. So, I truly don't see, the Chinese theater facade changing or making Minnie's Runaway Railway going away anytime soon. I think it's really well maintained. Still gets really, really long lines. It's a crowd pleaser. And that park desperately needs attractions. I love Hollywood Studios, one of my top 2 favorite parks. 3-ish. It switches with Magic Kingdom. It's Epcot, Hollywood Studios / Magic Kingdom. It switches. That park desperately needs that capacity. And that is the problem. That's a whole nother video. I don't think it's going to go anywhere anytime soon. And you know what? I'm fine with that. In terms of the Great Movie Ride, as much as it pains me to say this, they're never going to bring that back. That era of Disney just doesn't exist anymore, and they're not going to change it. Unfortunately, maybe in 10-20 years we might get something. I don't know. I don't think we're ever going to get it back, which is disappointing, but what you gonna do about it? Yeah, I don't see the facade of even changing. Chinese theater, it's classic. Those are my thoughts. On to the end card. Yeah, end card. This is gonna be a short video, but end card. We're gonna go. I'm trying to do this one hand. Thank you everybody for watching. This is my second video. This is a little bit more scripted. Hopefully everybody likes it better because it's scripted and more coherent. Please make sure, if you made it this far, leave a comment about your thoughts on if they are ever going to make the Great Movie Ride back. I don't think they are. But thank you for watching. Please like. I'm not even gonna ask you to subscribe, just like this video, please. And I will have more for you later. See you real soon.